It's on! Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the return of Disney Parks Talk Live, the weekly show when we're in town when we talk about what's going on in the world of Disney and otherwise theme parks. My name is Doobie Mosley. I am the co-founder here of Laughing Place, co-host of this show. Over there is my lovely, talented wife, Rebecca Mosley.
Hey, everybody.
Down there is the vice president of hate, and that's a little too harsh. There's the vice president of hating Disney's latest movie, Mike Celestino. And over there is the vice president of loving Disney's latest movie, Jeremiah Good.
Hi, everybody.
And I sure hope we have time to get into that battle, because I love
Jeremiah,
seeing those two articles.
you need to do a
posted back
thumbs
back.
down.
Yes. Before we begin, Jeremiah, that shirt you're wearing, anything you want to say about it?
This shirt was provided to me by the fine folks at Roosevelt. Roosevelt, fine shirts since the early 2010s.
Thank you. I also would like to thank Roosevelt for this fine shirt I'm wearing, which is even finer than the one Jeremiah is wearing, at least when you take into
It has
account who
Mickey,
it's on.
mine's Wally, so yeah.
Mike, I assume you paid for your shirt?
This shirt is like 20 plus years old, but I wore it today in honor of Paul Rubens, who's in The Nightmare Before Christmas. And this helmet, however, was given to me by Hasbro, and I think I want to say this lightsaber too.
So my belt was given to me by her universe, so I have to disclose what is going on.
If you think it's silly that we do this disclosure at the start of the show, please write the FTC and let them know this is silly, and maybe they'll let us stop. But as of now, it will continue. All right, on to a little bit of seriousness here before we get into the stupidity of Disney theme parks. Two deaths. One we learned about today, one late last week that we wanted to spend a little time talking about. So let's start with Paul Rubens. Mike Celestino, you want to talk about Paul?
Yeah, like I said on Instagram, I am the exact right age to have been a huge Pee Wee Herman fan growing up. The movie came out when I was 5. The TV show, the kids show, started when I was 6 and ran for, I think, 4 seasons from ages 6 to 10, which is like the perfect age to love that show and the movie. My father and I bonded over that movie. He really liked it and thought it was really funny, and so did I, and it carried over in my adulthood. I was just watching it while I was eating my snack, and it still really works. It's just a great character, a great film, and all of his other stuff too. I always really enjoyed seeing him pop up in little bit parts wherever he did. But yeah, at 6 o'clock today, we're going to be doing an hour. We'll do a Who's the Boss episode, kind of paying tribute to Paul Rubens, because he does have that Star Wars connection as well with Rex from Star Tours and Galaxy's Edge. But I'm a big fan. I got to meet him a couple times, and the news hit me pretty hard this morning.
Unlike Mike, I did not grow up with any particular connection to Pee Wee Playhouse or anything in that realm. For me, hey, how come my screen's not sharing? I'm very sad.
It is. We see it.
You see it? Okay.
Yes.
So for me, he was Max.
Yeah. That too.
Yeah, Max, definitely the precursor to Rex. Like, that was one of the things that they've always said, that was led right into the Rex time. I closer to Mike's age, but for me, I was exposed to Pee-wee on the HBO specials when I was a kid, when I shouldn't be watching them. His club Pee-wee specials are still some of the funniest things ever, and those were more the adult version of the TV show. But if you've never seen some of them and you are of the right age, I know that they are on YouTube, and you can find some of them, even the original ones from 1981. And it's Pee-wee's Playhouse just ramped up to 11. And that was one of those news. I was walking through Magic Kingdom with Luke, and I just looked down and I saw that Pee-wee had passed away. And he was always just one of those people that made you laugh. And I was
sorry to interrupt you, Jeremiah, but as I was watching the film a little earlier, I was thinking about all the locations that I visited from the movie, and you and I had gone to the Cabazon dinosaurs together.
I almost put up that photo. Instead, I put up the photo of me and Rex from when I got a special tour of Star Tours, because that one, that was, I'm sure Rebecca and Doobie were very much like I was, where it's when we always had those, what's your favorite secret of Disneyland, and it was always, did you know Pee Wee Herman? Because that was like never talked about for the longest time. And then that was always the, what he is, go listen.
So again, Mike Celestino will be talking more about the life and career of Pee Wee Herman at 6 p.m. Pacific. That's just about 2 hours from now, so please check that out. And unfortunately, as I mentioned, we had another death in the much more in the Disney community late last week. One a name that many hardcore Disney fans are familiar with, and someone that Jeremiah knew, Jim Corkus. So Jeremiah, you want to talk about Jim?
Jim Corkus, he was a Disney historian who, for many years, we didn't actually know his name because he would write for other websites under a pseudonym while he worked for the company. He worked for Disney up until 2009 when, as with a lot of us, was let go, and then became Jim Corkus. Just a wealth of knowledge. I can't tell you how many books he's actually written. I think there were, I know it was out there at some point, but anything that isn't Disney history, if you pick up a book, odds are high Jim wrote it. And every time I had a chance to interact with him, just the nicest guy. He was very giving of his time. Never, Disney fanboys and fangirls are diehards when it comes to stuff like that. And he always showed that he cared and loved Disney even after he had left the company. But going back, he was Merlin at Walt Disney World for Sword in the Stone. I mean, that's how far back he goes with that. And just somebody put it very well that it's nice that he wrote so many books, because a lot of those stories would just be gone if not for that. And it also led to me to the thought of, like, hopefully this will encourage more of the historians to write more stuff. Doobie?
If you'd like to hear, not only read Jim Corkus, but hear Jim Corkus, he was a very, very regular guest on the WDW radio podcast. Whenever Lou Mangello would do a history episode, he would have Jim Corkus on there. Always, as Jeremiah said, really interesting stories, just a wealth of knowledge on Disney in general, and certainly Disney World as well. So for that and many other reasons, I invite you to go check out WDW Radio Podcast, hundreds and hundreds of episodes. Just search for Jim Corkus and sit back and enjoy. And thank you, Jim, for all that you gave this community. And we are going to now switch over to our normal stupidity. So
is this where we make funny animal noises?
This is where we make funny noises. No disrespect intended, but let's
it's
get
our way
to
of saying
normal,
it's time
far
for
less
nonsense.
significant.
I do have a question, Doobie, leading off of that. Was there a late night podcast recorded around the poker table in Wyoming with you and Lou?
Oh my goodness, I wish there was.
I wish I had been filming during the trivia contest with Doobie and Lou. They were on the same team, but just the intensity that Lou and Doobie were bringing to this trivia contest.
I've done that.
It kind of seems unfair that they were both on the same
so
team.
funny. I remember, the moment I remember is when they said, what were the name of Daisy Duck's nieces? And Lou just flew out of his chair and told you the
Who wrote that? Like, that's sad.
Even I know that one.
It was so fun. There's just the passion. Awesome.
I gotta tell you, I am sad today that we, by necessity, need to keep this a normal length show, because I really just want to spend an hour talking about our adventures by Disney with Jeremiah and Mike there and ask questions and stuff. But we cannot do that today.
But we will
maybe another, hopefully another time. We are going to mention it later today. I'm going to get it in there somewhere. Minions Land, let's really quick say the news that broke today, that Minions Land is going to be opening at Universal Studios Hollywood on August 11th.
Universal Studios Florida.
Did I say Hollywood?
Yep.
Florida was in my mind, too. That's embarrassing. Universal Studios Florida, August 11th. Jeremiah, have you had a chance to ride the ride yet?
Staying on the ride? No, not yet. I've not had a chance to make it over there. The news is exciting. They have been doing soft openings now off and on for a few days. So if you do happen to make it over there before that day, there is a fair chance you could experience it. I have actually been spoiler free for it. So when I do get a chance to do it, I will give my review just like my food and wine reviews.
Cool.
Haunted Mansion review. All right. So while we were in Wyoming having the time of our life, we heard about some news back here that kind of shocked me, actually, I must admit.
Nope.
Dude, I'm bad at this. And that is...
Wait, didn't I call this? Did I not call this like shortly after?
I will give you props, Jeremiah. You did
No
say
props.
that this is going to be a more extensive loss of the dragon and whatnot than we all realized when it first happened.
So this is a double whammy. One whammy, the dragon is not returning when Phantasmic does. And who knows if it ever will return. And whammy number two, even without the dragon, it's going to be till spring 2024 before Phantasmic comes back. So they said instead there will be a new battle scene between Mickey and Maleficent, and it will feature a new special effects. So wow, that fire that occurred in New Orleans Square a few months ago had some major ramifications. Mike Celestino, as our Southern California theme park reporter, what are your thoughts?
Now, are they saying that the dragon will never return, or we don't know?
No, they have not said that.
It
They've not said
implies,
that.
though, that it's not coming back anytime soon.
Yeah, I
that's
think if they're
fine.
waiting all the way till spring to reopen it and it won't have a dragon, the chance that it'll be back pretty soon is pretty low.
That's always a highlight of that show, so that would be a big loss for sure. But I've said before that I don't often stay at the park late enough to see Phantasmic, but I should have. I know I regret it.
Yeah, and including the last time it performed when you had the chance to. And
Yeah.
How was that
Yeah.
movie, Mike?
Oh, Tori hated that movie so much.
Jeremiah, as a longtime Disneyland guy, any thoughts on that?
I'm very sad. The dragon is, even when it was just the dragon on a stick, it was still a highlight. I don't know what they will end up doing. They have to do some serious editing to the film or video, I guess now, to release out the dragon. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully they take this time to go back and put right what went wrong.
Rebecca, do you have high hopes that
each time hoping that his next leap will be the leap home?
Whatever they do replace it with will be impressive?
Okay, I wasn't a fan of the latest dragon. I think I've been on record for that. I preferred the dragon on the sticks because I thought it was just better as far as I don't know. The notion was it was your imagination. It was Mickey's dream. I really liked this enormous head and wings, and then the body wasn't really exposed, and so it just seemed much more, I don't know, foreboding and ominous than whatever came out later. I wasn't as compelled by the secondary dragon. So I'm interested to see what they end up doing. If they do kind of move away from that sequence in that way and bring it to life in a different way, it'll be interesting to see how they opt to do that. You kind of hope that maybe they'll be able to do drone stuff since it's an area of the park that people aren't in. But because it's over there by the island, and so you kind of hope that maybe there's some way, but who knows? It's I like the idea that they're being forced to kind of reinvent it because they had this investment in it, right? And once you invest in this dragon, then you have to wait until it depreciates in value, but it's gone. So all of a sudden they have a clean slate suddenly that they get to play with, and I'm excited to see what Imagineering does with it.
Drones.
I don't know. I don't know if it's possible, but
No, the drones would be too close.
That's what I figured.
It has to be.
No, there's always a way. I like the way
yes.
Mike Celestino looks like he has a flame burning over his
right?
shoulder
He
up
does.
there
It
in
looks
the
like
corner.
he's in hell.
Sorry. Just the light.
Like he's coming to us from hell.
I forgot to set up my ring light before the show today.
The way your face is just illuminated and you're in dark and the background's dark and then you just have that flickering light. Yes, it's very ominous.
It's cool. I like it. In other news, this news I think had Mike Celestino doing backflips. There will be more alcohol coming to Disneyland Park. Starting September 12th. Carnation Cafe, Riverbell Terrace, and Cafe Orleans will introduce delicious new offerings along with wine, beer, specialty cocktails, and non-alcoholic beverages. So that will join Blue Bayou and Oga's Cantina as places that serve alcohol at Disneyland. Our article also mentions Club 33. I don't think that should be in there. That's not open to the public. But yeah, more alcohol in the park. Still not some place where you can like grab it and walk around. Still limited to the restaurants, but slowly but surely the sauce is coming to the parks.
The interesting thing is this, like the other two I'm fine with. Carnation, that just doesn't work well for me.
Same.
Also, it's going to cut back on the cast members because you have to be 21 to be able to serve alcohol. So the food restaurant or the restaurant cast members who are usually younger can no longer be.
Well, they'll just not serve the alcohol.
No, to even bring it to the table. Like,
no, but I just mean they won't. I've been at restaurants where another server brings me the alcohol. No, my main server doesn't bring me the alcohol.
Yeah, but you're talking about Disneyland.
I had an alcohol incident once at Great American, but we're not going to go to that one. I was going to say something. Shoot.
But I'm with
Mike.
Jeremiah. I was like, the Carnation Cafe is the one that really kind of smacks me in the face. The other, I mean, I'm not thrilled about it in general, just because of the longevity of not having alcohol in the parks and in the Castle Park, that idea, especially Disneyland. But for some reason, the Carnation Cafe one is the one that I'm still like, really? There?
But now it's just every table service restaurant now. If I'm not mistaken. So, Mike,
I have a question. What is the menu like right now at the Riverbell Terrace? Because I remember when they shut down the Big Thunder Ranch barbecue.
Yeah.
Riverbell Terrace became a barbecue restaurant, and I loved it. I was eating there all the time. They had ribs. I was eating there like once a month. I loved it. After the pandemic, they reopened, no barbecue anymore, and I was like, "What the heck?"
Nope, no barbecue.
Nope.
You can get some pimento mac and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
I want a barbecue restaurant back at Disneyland. Where am I getting my barbecue from?
Celestino has it on record. He would like to trade in the beer for the barbecue. Sorry, Mike.
A lot of this stuff, no, but they have a lot of like barbecue adjacent things, like pulled pork sandwiches that are barbecue, and then the burnt end brisket. So it's like barbecue adjacent.
The ribs
but it's
were
not,
nice. They were
it's not
gluten-free.
ribs. Yeah, no, it's not. You're not getting your ribs there.
They have barbecue tofu, Mike.
No.
They have deviled meatballs and grits, plant-based.
Ooh,
Just
I want
pimento mac and
cheese,
cheese.
man.
Yeah,
Pimento
I mean,
mac and
that's
cheese. That sounds some good eats. That's what I need right now.
So this is now alcohol at all the table service restaurants. How long until they add it beyond the table service? Do you think Tiana's Bayou Adventure will open with it? I don't think that's table service.
I think instead of water in the ride, it will be alcohol.
I meant Tiana's Palace. Goodness, that was
I knew what you meant.
Magic Kingdom hasn't, transitioned to bars, and they've been doing alcohol for longer than Disneyland.
Yeah.
So I think they'll probably stick to that. And plus, that's one of the things about Epcot and studios with the bars that just keep multiplying. There is definitely a different level with the guest with the alcohol.
Well, and you've got downtown Disney, so convenient, and you've got DCA just right across the Esplanade. So it's it's a little more convenient to go just kind of grab a beer at a cart.
But if you could go grab a beer at the corn dog cart, that the amount of money Disney would make would go up a lot. It's hard to say no to money.
Hopefully they'll continue, because I prefer the Castle Parks to just have it at the sit downs. There's just something about the vibe it gives.
Would you prefer them not to have it at all, or does a sit down perfectly okay with you?
In this, I don't mind it in the sit downs, to be honest. It's not,
Yeah,
like I
it
say, for
really
me,
hasn't-
Disneyland is just because that was like, I just feel like Walt, kind of dynamic. So
Yeah, I think
Mike, have you
the
ever had a
sit-downs
drink?
will go.
Have I
Although
had
Oka's
it?
Cantina,
Mhm.
I mean, that's really a bar, not
Nope.
Jeremiah has seen me
table
get
service.
a little tipsy off of 2 drinks at Oga's.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you had a drink inside Disney, but then I forgot about Oka's Cantina, so I'm sure.
and that's a
you've
bar.
had it
That's
there.
a straight up bar.
Yeah.
You're not even eating dinner. You're not even
It-
sitting down.
I will say it has happened on multiple occasions that I've gotten inebriated enough that I forgot the mug that I purchased at the bar and had to go back.
Okay, we're
12
gonna.
steps. 12 steps, ladies. and
No,
gentlemen.
we're gonna move on. No,
Man.
the first step,
Rebecca,
Mike.
pull out that intervention banner. Let's do it.
The first step, Mike, is admitting you have a problem.
Right. Okay. But I am far from an alcoholic. I don't drink alone.
Oh, we do not need to analyze Mike's drinking habits. Let us move on.
It's like rare
Seriously.
occasions.
Nope.
I like
Nope.
this.
I veto this
I
conversation.
do
Move
know
on.
that Mike had a drink at Comic-Con and made
next?
it back to the hotel fine. We weren't
Oh, yeah.
awake when he made it back, but he made it back at some point.
What's next?
What's next is Tiana's Palace. Have you been to the park to see this for yourself yet, Mike?
I haven't been in a little bit. I haven't been to Disneyland in a
I
while.
think
My
it
wife
just
was there
went
over
up
the weekend.
Yesterday?
That's so
Yeah.
pretty.
Yeah, this debuted. Well, the article they released this article on Friday. This is from Disney Parks blog, of course, and yeah, how beautiful is this? The smokestacks, the facade for
Really
Tiana's
like
Palace
it.
is there, and it is bright, it is colorful, and I really want Mike to go and get some real pictures so we can see if it looks like this in real life too. But this is great. I love
Does
it.
Is it fully open?
Have we compared it to the movie? Does it look anything like the restaurant in the movie?
Relatively.
Well, in the movie, it's Tiana's Place, isn't it?
Oh,
An entirely different location.
well, never mind.
But it's relatively similar, as I recall. Didn't that have a seems
Yeah,
static
it looks very. It
motif
is.
and
It is inspired by
Yeah.
most definitely.
but Gio coming in and saying they couldn't have done this to Jazz Kitchen. I know.
Don't,
Poor
Gio,
Jazz
come on,
Kitchen.
you know not to poke him.
Poor Jazz Kitchen. No, it does say Tiana's Palace over there, Doobie.
Yeah, you're right. It does. It does.
But
But
I
it
don't
doesn't
think
look
that's from
anything
the,
like
that's
it.
not from the movie.
What is that from?
That's
I
not
don't
from
know.
the movie.
I don't have time to research. I'm just
There's
doing
also
some
like a
searching here.
neon Disney sign in the background.
Hang on, I'll bring up the movie.
Is that
on
from like
my-
Wreck-It Ralph or something?
I did see that.
Oh man.
All right, someone
What do you-
help me out with the picture.
I will.
Um,
I will. You keep working on the next story off.
Bringing up Disney Plus right now. We can watch it on.
No,
wait, isn't that
we can't.
against
No, it's
NFFC
fine.
rules?
No.
Did you say NFFC rules?
Yes.
All right,
I'm
while
working
Rebecca
on-
finds that, we're going to move on to our next topic, which this one I thought was so interesting. They are casting Joe from Soul at the Disneyland Resort. They
Have
are,
you sent in your headshot, Doobie?
well, they do have requirements that I do not qualify for. You
Me
need to be able
too.
to play well.
Oh,
Keep
let's
moving.
just end this right now.
You need to be able to play because Mike's not a piano player either. Play proficiently in the solo piano jazz style, and then engage with guests within the story of the film. So cool. We were talking about this morning. I cannot think of a character in the park that is come from a movie that has to perform and speak with guests in character. Nothing at all comes to mind. I don't know if something for either of you guys, any of you guys, comes to mind. But this sounds like a first to me. Tony this morning said maybe this is for the new Pixar hotel that's currently undergoing renovation. Maybe to put someone in a lounge there. Can you imagine instead of? Huh?
I was thinking it could be fun to do some sort of jazzy thing to what used to be Avalon Cove and put them in there.
Yeah, for sure.
So like a character dining, but in a more unique, like speakeasy kind of way.
It's for Jollywood Nights. They're just going to do it over there.
By the way, I found this.
Hey, it is
It's over
Tiana's
at
Palace.
Animation Screencaps. Did it show up for you guys? Because it's still not displaying on my screen.
Yes, we see it.
Okay.
I don't see it.
Well, that's your problem.
There it is.
How do I see it and you not see it?
That's bizarre. There's a website called animationscreencaps.com, and they like snap just about every moment in time from every animated film and other things, and so you can
Remember
just
that
see
app
still.
that you used to be able to do that?
So
I think I
there-
paid
Okay.
like $20 for it.
So I am so confused now. So in the movie, it is called Tiana's Palace.
Yeah.
in that Art Deco
But
dream,
why is it ever called Tiana's Place?
in the Art Deco dream
It's which one?
place, as I recall.
And
When you
then
see
this
the
is what?
menu, when
What
you
it
see
is
the menu,
is her dad writes it on
Yeah.
the art on the piece of paper, and I'm right there at that sequence. Let me
Yeah.
see.
when it's like the dreamy part, and she's
Because
talking
on the
about-
cruise line, it's also Tiana's Place. Whereas at Disneyland, it's Tiana's Palace. And it wouldn't be nearly as annoying if there was more than one letter separating them. So it just looks like a typo, but... Okay. Anyway, Joe.
It is-
Excited to see
It is
Joe.
Tiana's Place
See on the
on
menu,
the artwork. No, this is when her dad writes it at the beginning.
but it feels like it's on a menu cover. I mean,
Yeah.
it's what it feels like in the moment.
Yeah, it's
So-
something he stole out of the magazine.
Yeah.
And then Palace is what was actually built at the end of the movie.
Yes.
So what her dad envisioned for her wasn't enough. A place wasn't good enough for her. She needed to do a palace.
Well, she's a princess. A princess has a palace.
Oh, and Dad didn't know she was going to be a princess.
So there you go. So it's like a step beyond. Yeah.
So how come on the cruise line this is dumb. This is dumb. Okay, moving on from
You get
Joe.
obsessed with the strangest things.
I do.
One letter. That's all that matters.
Muppets, mops or brooms?
Muppets.
Moops or moors.
Oh no. The moops. All right. Oh, wrong window. What is that? That's your window. There's the right
Tiana's
window.
Palace at the end. Yes.
Okay.
Remember, you gotta rip it, roll it, and punch it. That was totally wicked. Give me some fin, noggin.
Mike, what do you remember? You gotta.
Rip it, roll it, punch it.
Yes.
Forgot already, so good. That is the new Finding Nemo theme pool area at Disney's Paradise Pier Hotel, soon to be Pixar Place Hotel, or maybe Palace. We don't yet know for sure, I don't think.
It's all Palace now.
But that part of it is now open. You can go check that out if you want to over at the hotel. I hope Mike makes his way over there soon to get some pictures of this.
Not for at least 2 weeks, but maybe after that.
Aw, so cute.
Amazing how much it looks like their last slide feature that they used to have there. I don't think they rebuilt it from the ground up,
I like
but it
the
is cool.
bubbles.
It is very cool.
Did they have the splash pad? I don't remember the splash pad.
Oh, I don't remember Splash.
I don't know if they had a
I haven't
splash
been there in
pad.
a while.
But I do remember the slide because you could see the slide
Ooh,
from like,
those
the ground.
cabanas look nice too.
It's like a happening place to stay. Their pool, of course, is up on it's like the third or fourth level. It's not on
Yeah,
ground
above the
level.
parking garage.
Yep.
Oh, there's another picture of it. Let's show one more. Looking good. Looking good. I want to check this out on my next visit down. This was nice. Yeah, Septipus. Let's see. And finally, we got the news today that Steakhouse 55. We knew it wasn't going to be reopening, but since they didn't tell us what was coming, I think some of us held out a little tiny bit of hope. Your hope is now dead. Dead.
Last time I was at the hotel, I walked over there, and it looks like, it was just like the pandemic happened yesterday, and everybody left, and everything was still there. There was even, I know people that have walked over to the check-in stand that used to be available, and they still had the menus in there. And
Wow.
Well, Donna goes way back. Third level, if I remember, from the old Emerald of Anaheim days. That's like 12 names ago. That's pretty
Not
good.
that many. By the
For
way,
the
in the list of what we're talking about today, this is called Steam House 55. So apparently Jimmy wants it to become a dry sauna.
So not necessary, Rebecca.
That's an amenity not yet available.
We have
in
Slack
Discord,
for that,
right?
I believe. Isn't that the proper term?
Yeah, you know, that's the shared document. You can just fix it for me. You don't have to call me out, humiliate me in front of
A
everyone.
nice steam before you visit Goofy's kitchen.
So it will become a lounge used for various things. Yeah, just a space. Just a space. No more Steakhouse 55. It was Granville's. It was some good
Then nothing
eats.
for a long time, then steakhouse, and now nothing for a long time.
And finally, on the West Coast, Mike Celestino, did you get these pictures of your favorite movie of the year having costumes on display in the Opera House?
No, I was wondering who did.
Oh.
Because I was at Midsummer Scream all weekend. I didn't go to the park.
Nice.
Mystery.
There's Leota.
Maybe from the blog.
Those are the costumes that were on display for the world premiere out over at DCA. But I saw those also. Like, who took these?
You guys.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're from the blog.
Wait, you guys really didn't care for? I mean, no, Mike didn't care for the movie.
I did not.
Let's get into this.
Yeah. What failed? You.
I thought the first half it moved too quickly to establish any kind of mood or atmosphere. It was just like rapid fire editing. And then the second half was just too goofy for me. So it didn't work for me on the comedy level or the spooky level. And that's the two things on which I was judging it as a horror comedy.
Did the fan service work for you?
Yeah. I mean, they did a lot of references to the ride. I did pick up on those, but I don't think that makes a good movie, unfortunately.
How about you, Jeremiah? What spoke to you? Why did you come away going, yeah, I enjoyed that?
I enjoyed it a lot because it was fun. Like, that's when it came down to it, it's a fun movie. Like, the comedy is there. I felt that they actually had enough time to establish each of the characters. It wasn't just a boom, boom, boom. And there are definitely times in there that I saw myself going, this could have been bad for me, but I enjoyed it. Like, there's some silly lines that you just have to laugh at. And that's the thing. Everybody's like, why do you like it? It's just like Indiana Jones. It's a fun movie. You can't overthink it. You just go in, you enjoy it. And unlike Indiana Jones, it's not overly long at parts.
So you enjoyed it more than Indy?
I enjoyed as a whole more than Indy, yes. Indy has some better parts, but I think overall it's silly, and the kid is going to win Academy Awards for years to come.
The cast was great. The whole cast I thought was great.
My timeline has been split. It hasn't been like overwhelmingly well received by Disney fans in my life, nor has it been totally panned by Disney fans in my life. So the fact that the two here are split is rather reflective of kind of what's been going on in my Facebook, Twitter, and kind of everywhere I've been. There's a kind of a real mixed bag of reaction to it.
One of the things I tried to avoid was hey, it's better than the original one, because it's not, this isn't a remake. This is, hey, we're using the same title as for completely different things. And I've said I've seen it twice now. I will probably see it a third time in the movies, and then when it gets on Disney Plus, I will pause it to see all the different ghosts, because there are some scenes that you cannot. It does move very fast in some of the ghost scenes where you know things are happening, but you just can't see it well enough.
I think it's a very challenging property to do a movie. I'm surprised that they keep trying to let somebody make a movie with it, because the attraction itself is so broad in its, like, you can go, it's not spooky. I mean, like scary. It's not gory scary, but yet a lot of the super passionate fan base have kind of woven into it this imagery and storyline that's really, dark and macabre and, and all that kind of thing. And so I feel like it's a because you kind of like when Guillermo del Toro was talking about doing a movie, I was like, that fits with most of the people I know who are super passionate about the Haunted Mansion. However, on the flip side, well, is that now going to make it where when I go to the park, if I'm not a well-informed consumer, am I going to be like, well, I don't want to go in Del Toro's mansion, So it's one of those things where, like I say, I keep expecting them to kind of branch out and it be like, come up with something where we know that it's mansion, but yet the title of the film isn't Haunted Mansion.
Well, they at the panel yesterday, I don't know if this is out there actually. I should have put it in to do. But there was a behind the scenes panel at Midsummer Scream about the movie, and they talked about a movie being in development just about the hitchhiking ghosts. Did we know this?
Uh-uh.
Oh, with Ryan Gosling.
Oh,
I guess I should have put that in to do, but I just
I think
remembered.
That sounds.
I had
really
a chance to hear from Justin Simeon at Comic-Con, and he was a cast member at Disney, and the writer is a diehard Haunted Mansion fan. So the movie does reflect the mansion where you don't see the ghost until Madame Leota, which leads us into our next topic about Haunted Mansion.
Well, I just want to say my favorite Haunted Mansion adaptation is still the Muppets one. I think they were forced to keep it simple because of the way they shot it, basically using like sort of like a volume type thing. And it's just basically the spirit of the ride meshed with the Muppets, and I don't know, that really worked for me. I'll watch that again in Halloween time, but this one just didn't click.
Also, one of the cool things about this movie is almost everything is a practical effect. If they could make a practical effect, they did. They made the entire mansion. There's a point where some of the characters are being drug out in chairs, and those were all practical. So yeah, the ghosts are the CG, but Justin made a point of, I want to make sure that this is as real as possible, and it comes off fun. Sorry, I was watching Haunted Mansion from the Cheesecake Factory. What's going on?
Jealous, kidder. Are you going to send me a slice?
That is a fun fact.
Haunted Mansion, disappointing at the box office, $24 million. We're hoping for 30, and even that would have been pretty low. Beaten up by Barbenheimer. And also disappointing at Rotten Tomatoes. I think it was 43% this morning, which was still like 3 times better than the original Eddie Murphy Haunted Mansion, which shows how bad that was. But Jeremiah, you slipped in there something regarding a Hatbox Ghost that had the internet just jumping for joy on Friday.
Nope. Just like with normal Disney fans, everybody has to argue about stuff. We've known that the Hatbox Ghost was going to materialize at the Magic Kingdom since D23 Expo last summer. We just didn't know anything about where. I, just like everybody else, assumed that it was still going to be towards where the original Hatbox Ghost appeared in the attic. But then they announced that he is appearing just past the endless hallway, which people who are the diehard story followers, of which there is no official story, are upset because no ghosts appear until after Madame Leota summons them, which goes back to the old days of Rolly's Haunted Mansion and Mark Davis's Haunted Mansion, where Rolly was the beginning, the darker, and then Mark was the more fun. But again, the Hatbox Ghost, I don't think this is a spoiler, is the bad guy in the movie. So he is a little bit darker. So it does kind of throw him. It fits where he could be in the beginning. There has been a lot of theories. I think everybody's reading too much into the theories of, well, maybe he's going to appear here or there. No, I think the figure is just going to be where everybody calls the Donald Duck chair is. He'll just be standing right there.
I'm curious to see if this Hatbox Ghost has a more strong resemblance to the way it's represented in the film, as opposed to the one that is in California.
I think it's just going to be the exact carbon copy.
I'm sure you do.
And I will be interested, and I'm wondering, when all of a sudden he'll materialize August 11th.
Is there not room to put him where he is in Disneyland at the Magic Kingdom one?
there is, but there isn't. So when they built the Magic Kingdom one, the Hatbox Ghost was on the inside of the attic across from where the bride is now. So they had all the power and everything in there. When they built the Walt Disney World one, people have said that they built the exact same, but it never materialized here. So we don't know if there is all of that. So no, there isn't a full space. Like Disneyland has a wider walkway when you come out of the window.
Jeremiah, I have a question for you. When did you invent time travel? Because somehow you
When
transported
you fell off the
yourself.
toilet, right?
I was hanging
You
in a cloth.
transported yourself to October to get these pictures at the Magic Kingdom of Halloween decor.
I transformed myself to August 11th. I woke up this morning hearing, hey, the pumpkins have arrived. Headed over there. Yep, they've arrived.
July 31st, people.
July 31st, we have the main pumpkin people. We don't have any of the pumpkins on Main Street. They do have the photo op. Roy and Minnie are gone for the pumpkin displays, and the pumpkin people that we inherited from Paris almost 2 decades ago, I believe now, are already out there, and we are getting ready for Not So Scary opening August 11th.
It's the 11th. Yeah, hard to believe. Halloween is here. No, because Halloween's not here. Halloween Celebration is here. We are still a long way from the actual Halloween. All right, so we're done with that. Hatbox Ghost. This story, as I mentioned this morning, I honestly thought was a joke, and I read it a bunch of times before I was convinced this was actually happening. But Smell-O-Vision, Smellephants on Parade, is coming to the Magic Kingdom. Storybook Circus will be sponsored by Scentsy, and they are going to have some smelling spots there. Mike Celestino, as a gluten-free American, what do you think of this?
What?
I don't know that there's gluten in smells, as far as I'm aware, but I'm always interested in new ways to experience storytelling.
Wow.
Very
Right
good.
there
Mike.
Is that diplomatic or what?
Yeah.
Am I the only person at Laughing Place who's actually excited about this?
Yeah.
Wow.
I will go do it, and I will make sure somebody's there videoing me as I go up to the elephants. Go.
I am
nice.
excited about this. I mean, it's one of the things I love about Flower and Garden Festival is the way that there's all these different fragrances as you're wandering around. And I know in recent years, Scentsy has had specific fragrance gardens and stuff like that. So, come over here and experience kind of a piney one, and over here and experience kind of a summery one, that type of thing. So now to do this instead with random things that would fit with the environment, like of a circus, like Donna says, you pass one popcorn themed elephant, it smells like popcorn. You pass one that smells like peanuts. You pass one that smells like cotton candy. I like it.
Versus elephants.
Back up again.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes, Donna, I will do that. So right where this elephant is actually where the popcorn and soda cart normally is. So they don't really have to put a fragrance, a smellizer, isn't that what they were called? At the base of it, it'll just be like, that smells like the
anything
popcorn.
that brings me more of those terrifying elephants that gave me nightmares when I was a kid, I am 100% behind.
I am excited for the
They
pink
took
elephant.
him away from Fantasmic. Part of why I don't like the new dragon is because it came at the same time that my elephants went away.
Mike.
No, the elephants were still there. The elephants left in the newest incarnation. The dragon came,
fine,
but you can still not like it. It's
but
okay.
I connected anyway.
Mike, if you could add smells to any attraction, which one at Disneyland, which would you choose?
My favorite attraction already has a very unique smell.
Smell is important.
Haunted Mansion, the smell
Pirates.
of death.
Yeah. Boy, that's a good question. Smelling.
Soren.
Like you're passing something in an attraction, you're like, I really wish I could smell Jessica's perfume right now, or something like that.
Right. Yeah. I got to think on that.
No, you ponder that.
Okay.
I mean, and they added smells when you go through Snow White now, right? You go through Snow White.
Yeah, I
and
feel
kinda
like this
get
has
it
been incorporated a
apple pie.
bunch already.
Smells and attractions are very important. Have always been very important.
Also
Random
smells-
smells around the park is different.
It smells it's in essence a zone. It's like right there around the thing.
We know they make it smell outside the Candy Palace. They pump out smells there. No, it just
Anti-fragrant curmudgeons.
these are the things you expect press releases for. It appeared in the picture that since he was taking over sponsorship for the attraction, you think that might have been mentioned, but no, it just the popcorn.
Yeah,
the popcorn
how wide are these Smell-o-phants going to be? Are they going to just be around Dumbo, or am I going to walk over to Goofy's Barnstormer and Goofy's going to be there smelling, and then walk over to Pete's Silly Symphony and go, that smells like cigars and whiskey.
Chili dog.
I got one. I think when you pass the gorilla who's reaching for the bananas on the Jungle Cruise, it should smell like bananas.
Very good. That's a good one.
I like that idea.
Over
Smells
at
on the Jungle Cruise boats.
Epcot and Crescent Lake in that area, they are repainting the
boats.
What are these called? The friendship boats. And they
Wait,
also
okay,
appear to
so
be
wait,
changing light bulbs.
scroll
as
up
well.
just a little bit, DB. No, scroll down. Underneath, stop.
The ad?
No, right there. See where it says friendship boats?
Oh, I'm looking at the ad for the Bible.
No, but friendship boats?
Yes.
I've never seen it capitalized but like that before. Is that something new or I just never noticed?
I haven't either. That's a great question.
Because now it
Was
seems
that off the
redundant
Parks
to call
blog?
it now it seems redundant to call it a boat. I feel like
Right,
I
it's
should
just
just
a
call it a
friendship.
friendship.
That is a no. I don't.
I'm going to the blog right now to see if that, because I don't know. I didn't get a press release on this.
We're not the only people to do it that way, so I'm wondering if it is.
No, I
on the
know.
blog.
I'm like, did they also kind of change the nomenclature along with its paint scheme? And now, why would you say boats? Why don't you just call them friendships? Why would they be friendship boats?
This is more important than mops or brooms. This is huge.
I believe we need to know the exact difference between a ship and a boat to have this argument.
Not in the world of Disney. They can do it. They just redefine things, don't they? It doesn't matter. But yeah, I was like, wait, because I'd never seen it written that way before.
Should.
I mean, I'm guessing that it's friendship because Disney does the dumb puns with the friendship.
Clever puns.
I'm sorry. Did I misspell clever?
Wow.
I'm not sure where this
legend
came
again.
from. Anyway, we're gonna move on. This is very important, though. We're gonna revisit this at a later date. Let's see. Friendship boats. Food and Wine Festival has begun. How's the Muppet thing looking?
It's a fun little area. The pumpkin. Darn! Every time the pickle milkshake is nowhere near as bad as I expected. You can watch my reaction video. And then the unnecessarily spicy yet blah 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 bonnet pepper wings are way unnecessarily spicy to the point where I will never put that in my mouth again.
Our friends Ben and Alex are nearing the end of their trip around the world. They are in Florida now. All the fun private plane stuff is over. Hopefully you've been following that on our site as they do day-by-day trip reports, which I think are a couple days behind now, but they're still coming. And they have had the time of their lives, and I'm glad they've been chronicling it for all of us.
I did see them yesterday.
Oh, the official name is a capital S.
But it's Friendship Launch, so do we call it boats?
That's the Canada one. That could be a French-Canadian thing, too.
It's not a friendship boat launch.
I did have a chance to see them both yesterday, and they look completely exhausted.
Which is how you should look after a trip like this. Hey, we went on an Adventures by Disney. I don't know if you guys heard.
What?
But yes, Rebecca and myself and our son Gideon did a 7-day Adventures by Disney on a white screen. Oh no,
Friendship boat, but no S. See, I'm thinking there was a nomenclature change with all of this.
That is fascinating. That is truly fascinating. We need to write Disney publicity and find out the official spelling for that. We went to Wyoming, 2 days in Jackson, 1 day, or 2 nights in Jackson, 1 night in Old Faithful Inn in Yosemite, and then 3 nights at the glorious Brooks Lake Lodge. Our first adventures by Disney. We liked it. I talked about this so much, Rebecca. You want to just take a couple minutes and give your impressions of your very first Adventure by Disney experience?
The Adventures by Disney is much more adventure than vacation. It is because they understand that this is a premium experience, that you're visiting a unique location. So they really do maximize your time. So you have packed itineraries, but not hectic, but packed. I mean, you are on the go. And then did he say Yosemite? Oh, that's so funny. Way to go, Don.
Did I again say Yosemite? Oh my goodness.
But
I've said that so many times.
But this one is one of their slower paced in that the first few days you're hitting the sites of Yellowstone, and then the last 3 days you are at Brooks Lake Lodge, which is an amazing dude ranch where you are staying in a luxury lodge on a beautiful lake nestled in a valley, and you get to choose between horseback riding, hiking, fly fishing, while you enjoy the amazing meals made by your event chef. And so you have group meals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner all throughout that. And the meals by this team kitchen staff are amazing. We had bison, we had elk. Doobie had amazing tortellini. It was just everything that we had was magnificent. And we left refreshed, rejuvenated. It really is an amazing. Our adventure guides, Casey and Dusty, were incredible. Total Disney hosts, and just really welcoming, and provided you with a great foundation to try new things. They really did a great job of motivating you to do something new, to step outside your comfort zone, because you knew they had your back. And so, yeah, I can't recommend an Adventure by Disney enough, because they really fill in. You don't have to think. You just go where they point. Over there, be there at 8, be there at 7, and you're going to have a magnificent time. You don't have to think. It was wonderful. I loved it.
It's a very cute picture.
Oh, man, Gideon had a blast. My son is not the most adventurous kid. I mean, he doesn't even do like Disney thrill rides. That's how like not adventurous of a soul he is. But they got him to whitewater raft with Joy. He even jumped in the river. So
jealous of that.
He even jumped in the river at one point where the water was more calm. Giddy jumped right in the river along with the adventure guide. We went horseback riding. He found out he loves canoeing. We had to take Dad back to the shore because Doobie does not like canoeing.
Nope, found that out. Not one bit.
We could not get Doobie out of that boat fast enough and back on land.
Did you guys hike up the mountain with Lou?
No, we let Lou and them go hike up the mountain.
Oh, see, and I had the pleasure of attending the preview for Food and Wine after he arrived at 2:00 in the morning, and all he would do was complain about that hike. And
it was
I was
amazing.
Like, yeah, I would have loved that. That every bit of that looked so amazing.
Everybody who went on that hike, most of the people in our group went on that hike, and everybody who went on that hike said it was the most challenging thing they'd done, but yet worth the view. Like the payoff was amazing, and so they were happy they had done it, but it pushed them, and it was really a challenging experience for them. My mobility issues, I couldn't. I had to opt out, and Doobie and Gideon opted to stay with me. But one of the unexpected treasures of this trip was getting to know Lou Mangello and his family better. We really have only known him kind of in a professional way, like seeing him at Disney events when we're both, really focused on getting coverage for, our readership. But getting to know him and his family, that's his son, Nick, there, who turned 18 on this adventure. Just super, super family. His readership, the people who were all gathered there were all through Walt Disney WDW Radio, and just really magnificent people. So such a cool group. If you are considering it Adventures by Disney, stop by WDW Radio, look at what ones they have planned for their contingent, and join in, because you will have an instant bond of that Disney-ness that makes it so much. It's like just that added layer of fun, because believe it or not, Adventures by Disney is not purely for the passionate Disney fan. It's actually much more popular within kind of a luxury travel community. So you may or may not have that, super passionate Disney fan alongside you. But if you go with Walt Disney World Radio, WDW Radio, when they go, yeah, Lou and Becky, now you're talking some Disney dweebs. I mean, we're chanting O2H as we're canoeing along as we're riding along the Snake River. So with fellow Disney fans, so it was a blast and a half. I can't wait to tell you guys more about it. Doobie and I are gonna get on here. We'll drag Jeremiah along because I know Jeremiah hit one in South Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
and you make friends with everybody. Like to this day, I still am very close friends with everybody that was on my trip.
Yeah, so amazing. And Mike C, I don't know how you do that in like wildness. Like we were in a beautiful lodge and we would be outside for like 10 minutes and then be like, okay, we're good. We'll head back in. And I'm like, Mike just lives in this. I don't know how.
Oh, it's all my wife. I never would do it without her. But speaking of things that I'm doing that are outside my comfort zone, like you said with Gideon, we're going on a cruise this weekend. I'm going to be doing zip lining in Alaska, which
So cool.
I'm super nervous about.
Oh,
That
I'm
is
so
awesome.
excited for
Again,
you.
Just don't put your hands on the zip line. You're safe. They will
Yeah, don't fall.
a million times.
I'm excited for you, Mike. I'm looking forward to hearing about your Alaskan adventure.
Are you taking the GoPro on the zip line?
Oh, good reminder. I need to charge my GoPro and set it up and everything.
When I did mine, in Jamaica, they said no cameras, no cameras, no cameras, and then every single person had their GoPro with them, and I was so upset because the one I did was like get off, go to a different zip line, go to a different zip line. It was so cool, but I can only imagine how cool it's going to be in Alaska.
One of the adventures with us, Nicole, she had a GoPro, but my helmet was the only one that had the GoPro mount. So when we went whitewater rafting, she stuck her GoPro on my helmet. I cannot wait to see her footage of our whitewater rafting. I hope it worked out. I've never had like a GoPro on my head before. Yeah, you can see it there in the shot. So
lots of Doobie going, get me off this crazy thing.
I love the whitewater rafting.
Okay,
The whitewater
on the
rafting was
whitewater
awesome.
raft.
Yeah, just the canoe.
Canoe.
Yeah, go figure.
That's the next LP summit.
Oh man,
water rafting.
It's
I wish you guys we could all go up there together. We would have such a hoot. It was so much fun. The idea of all of us around a poker table.
If you are in any way interested in Adventures by Disney, or for that matter, an Alaskan cruise, Disney or otherwise, hey, check out MEI Travel, Mouse Fan Travel. Our friends Becky and her crew over there, they do a great job of taking care of you. They took care of us on this Adventure by Disney, and they will take care of you too. So we are happy to always recommend our travel partner, Mouse Fan Travel, for anything Disney as well as anything cruising. They do tons and tons of cruises, both Disney and non-Disney. And folks, I think that's our show today.
Wait. I want to do
Unless
a show.
Mike has something else to say. Go for it.
So I did not go to Disneyland this past week, but my wife and her parents did. The parents were in town, and they went. All the kids were there too. Her brother and sister, and she picked up for me the Black Series Doc Ondar, which here's the box,
which was supposed to be out like months ago.
Yeah, it came out at Disney World a few weeks ago, and then it finally arrived here. But
that is gorgeous.
I do like it. It comes with a little clone trooper helmet and 2 holocrons, a Sith and a Jedi holocron. My friend David really doesn't like the paint job on it, but I'm willing to live with that. The problem I have with it doesn't have a beard. You can see even in the art here, Doc Ondar has a beard. They just didn't put it on the figure.
How weird.
I just thought that was so odd. Otherwise, it's a nice figure, but I was a little disappointed. It also comes with this sword that if you read the comic book, the Galaxy's Edge comic book, they tell you how he got that sword.
Oh, cool.
But
I kind of wish he came with the Ark of the Covenant just for giggles.
Yeah, that would be cool. Well, I do have the Ark of the Covenant in the 6-inch scale from the Indiana Jones figures, so I guess he could.
There you go.
Mike is going to rebuild the shop and put everything in there.
Oh, that's a good idea. Kind of want to do it in Lego too.
Nice.
Lots of haunt news came out the past few days. We're not going to get to it right now unless there's something in particular someone wants to say. Are you still showing stuff, Mike?
No, I just realized there's a Doc Ondar sign up here, and then
Yep.
Doc Ondar is here.
I believe Midsummer, is that what was going on this past week?
Midsummer Scream was over the weekend. There were presentations from Not Scary Farm, Universal Studios Hollywood's Halloween Horror Nights, and Disney had a panel behind the scenes of the Haunted Mansion movie. The big announcements from Horror Nights were a maze based on the monsters of Latin America. It sounds really, really cool, actually. All the concept art they showed was neat. And then from Knott's, they introduced a new character called the Keeper that's based on this guy named Sinister Seymour, who was a horror movie host in the 70s, I guess, when Scary Farm started, because this is the 50th anniversary.
Yeah, he was the host
Farm.
the first couple of years.
Yeah, so they created this character based on him, who's like the host of this new maze. They haven't announced what the maze is called yet, but he's going to be like the guy who welcomes you and guides you through the maze. But very excited. Halloween season starting, as you said before, in midsummer. It's called Midsummer Scream, so I guess that makes sense. But
I love that Midsummer Scream is the same time that Magic Kingdom actually installs their Halloween.
Mac and I are going to do our second annual review of the Universal Florida. Jeez, I almost did you, Doobie. Their announcements and talk about our hype list and what we're looking forward to that. We just have to figure that time out.
Awesome.
Oh, and there's a announcement event for Knott's Scary Farm, August 24th. I think tickets might have gone on sale today.
$20 each, not bad, but you get a lot of fun stuff this year to it.
Okay, so you can pay to go and watch, and they'll announce what all the mazes and the scare zones and the shows and everything are for Not Scary Farm. I've been to this before. It's really fun. I think it used to be included in the annual pass for Knott's Scary Farm, but for whatever reason they're charging now.
It is sold out.
Okay, well, I'll be there as media, so watch out for that in a few weeks.
Cool.
August 24th, 7 p.m. Hopefully they'll do the live stream like they have in the past.
The back half of the year has arrived. All right, folks. I think that's it. Unless someone else says anything else, it's time for me to go see the Dial of Destiny. I'm excited about checking that out with the family.
Cool.
Yeah, I hear it's pretty decent. Better than Haunted Mansion. So you're
like it
muted,
more than
Rebecca, if you were trying to say something. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. Thanks for joining us. Tune in tomorrow 9 a.m. as we catch up on what's going on with our morning show in the world of Disney.
Or in a few hours for Mike talking about
one hour from now, Who's the Boss Live will be talking about what Paul Rubens mean. I called up my friend Kurt, who I knew is a big Pee Wee Herman fan as well, and we're going to be talking all about the life and career of Paul Rubens at 6 p.m. Pacific time.
Out in an hour. Bye, everybody.